Apologies for those images, and as they kept on coming in that fashion. But no pleasantries between and the government. It looks as if he wanted to say hi, but they just said thanks, but no thanks.
When I was much younger and we're playing sets, as we call it, football, you say no touching. So this one, no greeting. I guess the soldiers want to be professional, I guess so.
And I think it also underscores what you just said now, that the soldiers are just supposed to be on the periphery.
That's just it. I mean, to confirm that again, the pictures we saw in Kano now, there's nothing like that, and all over. They are not supposed to. And I hope that this thing is a peaceful thing, is a purely civilian thing. Yeah. And we should make it that way. What I can assure you is that the elections in Nigeria is work in progress. We have been improving. We've been improving. I'm involved, and I know that we've been improving. So, because we are improving, definitely we'll be seeing some hiccups, and we'll be working on them, and gradually, soon, there won't be issues of soldiers, and I can assure you, maybe let me quickly chip in this. Yeah. As a member of a Nigerian Bar Association, we have started voting on using our phone. You don't need to go queue all these things. You use your phone to vote. And I know we are going to do that, very soon in this country. And of course, we've been talking about diaspora voting, so definitely it will come to be in this country one day. It may not be now, but definitely it will be in a day. And of course, the issue of using technology, very soon it will come by. So all we want is that, indeed, let's all cooperate with one another. We want Nigeria to be better. Otto Gloria or Father Tiko cannot come and help us in this country. The only people that can make Nigeria better are we Nigerians, and together we'll make it better.
Speak to this process, because you mean now, they have this continuous accreditation and voting procedure wherein you vote, you move, because we know that some people had read objections now because it happened previously, but now it looks as if it's also, as it's going on now, you won't see a huge concentration of people as well. So how much does that contribute to reducing tension at the polling unit?
Both ways. Even if people want to wait and then maybe accredit, then come back and vote, or they vote and accredit them and go vote simultaneously. But if there will be tension, there will be tension. If there won't be tension, there won't be tension. Let me tell you one thing. The traditional voters know how the voting pattern goes. It does not matter how the cubicle is placed. The traditional people, they know, because as they are placing their hands on the ballot paper, they know which party somebody is voting for. And they begin to count. This party is winning, this party is losing. So it may cause tension. And of course, that always happens where there are two strong parties in a place. But if one of them is a major political party in an area, there's no stress, there's no tension at all. But again, the most important thing is that the environment should be clear, should be stressless, that people will vote. I hope, again, the RACs and the various electoral officers should quickly go around and educate the ad hoc staff, because some places the ballot box and the voting point are close to each other. Then I observed something, and I'm sure they should stop it. They can quickly call their people. There's no VIP in election. All of us are the same. We are all voters. So you see that the cameras go with VIPs to the voting cubicle. That has been banned. That's not allowed. And it does not matter who is voting or the person. That should not occur. You see, when laws are not obeyed by VIPs, then definitely there will be problems.
Yeah, in other words, we expect those VIPs to please emphasize that point. So
no, it is the officers that should tell them. That's the voting.
Yeah, I get your point. But we all have a role to play.
Sorry,
so we all have a role to play.
Yes.
So we all need to see how we can push that
VIPs
message
themselves.
Yeah, they can also say
simple rules and regulations, so that there will be some order.
Yeah, so let's get to Abuja now. We also have a panel of analysts there. Dayo Olaide, who is of the Center for Democracy and Development, as well as Awa Rafsanjani of CISLAC. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us today on the program. Well, Mr. Rafsanjani, from your perspective, how is this event playing out today?
Well, yeah, I think as you can see clearly, Nigerians are very anxious to come and exercise their fundamental right. There are a lot of Nigerians who they believe that, this day is really an important day for them to decide who, is going to be their next president, whether to retain the current one or whether to change him. And it is always through this democratic, means that you can be able to do that, and to also have those one in the National Assembly that will represent them. So therefore, it is a good opportunity that nobody will want to lose this opportunity. And Nigerians have come out despite the challenges, despite all the problems encountered in the past, and also even the threat, from different political actors. I think I'm really impressed that so far, so good. We have not had incidences of violence, and we hope that the security agencies, will also continue to behave in a manner that is civilized, in a manner that will not actually scared, or destabilize the election. And then also the voters, we hope that they will also continue to, come on board peacefully and, make sure that they did not do anything that is capable of bringing tension or even, violence in that place. And then also, I can see that in many places, INEC had actually, fulfilled its commitment by ensuring that materials, are going to arrive in time. I think this is very encouraging, and I'm happy as a civil society actor. All the things that we have been advising INEC and political parties and Nigerian voters, they are actually, healing to our advice, because it is only through this process that we can be able to have peaceful, transparent, and non-violent election. And, from what I'm seeing so far, we are likely going to have a good election, that would be acceptable to Nigerians. I only plead that when, the outcome of the election comes, Nigerians should also take it, because it's not just the voting matter that matters, it is also the outcome, because some of the politicians, who are not used to accepting outcome of genuine, result, pronouncement, they might, hide under whatever disguise to, cause tension. But we are hoping that this time around they will not do that, because doing that has a greater implication. And we, at the level of civil society, we are, observing and documenting lapses that might occur, because we need to, at the end of the day, give INEC, some suggestion on how they can further improve on some of the areas that we think there are probably noticeable shortcomings. So I think for me, this is really, a very welcome development. I am happy that despite all the initial, threat to life, it hasn't really scared people from determining to ensure that they come to vote, their, choice candidate in this election. So this is really a good one, at least for now. So we'll continue to observe and, update Nigerians, because my organization, of course, CISLAC, and then the Situation Room generally, we have been, we have deployed, observers across the country, and we are getting reports, of, each state and each, center where election is taking place. So at the end of the day, we are going to give an interim report.
Okay, let me get the thoughts of Mr. Olaide too, just by your side there. You've been watching the process, especially at that point where the presidential candidates of the APC and the PDP casted their votes and also had to talk to the press. But when they were asked about the question of acceptability of the results when we get to that point, and the submissions by the PDP candidate saying that he's looking forward to a smooth transition, as to the APC candidate who said that he will be the one that will be announced at the end of the day. What do you make of those statements?
I think it's not surprising. It's typical for politicians to be upbeat about their chances. And so I think it's, for me, it's not it's not a big surprise that we had both of them expressing some very strong confidence and belief that, yes, they would win the elections. The issue of accepting the result, I know, has been one that has been of concern to civil society groups. I think it's also been one that has been of particular, that has featured very strongly in the peaceful effort that has been made by international observers, but also our friends from across Africa and outside Africa. I'm talking about former presidents. In the peace accord, the point about they needed to actually have a provision that commits all the gladiators to actually accepting that should the result come out and it's not exactly what they had expected, that they will be honorable enough to accept the result. I think that at this point in time, 3 hours into the voting, a lot more is expected from them. My expectation will be that they will continue to call for calmness amongst their supporters, encourage people to go out there and cast their vote, and at the same time also encourage them to be able to accept whatever the outcome of the result is. I know that listening to you guys there in Lagos, there has been some reports about delayed, delays in voting in some places. There has been delays in election materials in some places. I think all of these should be expected, given the magnitude of, the exercise itself, the size of Nigerians, but also the size of people that are actually coming out to vote. So I think we should all conduct ourselves in the best possible ways and wait for the outcome to actually be declared by INEC.